So, guys, let's talk about the Marjorie Taylor Greene because today she's accidentally done something remarkable. She has finally told the truth and she is furious about it. MTG is out here warning Donald Trump over the Venezuela strikes, saying this is what many in the MAGA thought they would have voted to end. And honestly, that sentence alone deserves a slow clap, guys, because welcome to reality, Congresswoman. You didn't just wake up in 2026 and discover foreign interventions. This isn't a plot twist. This is the same movie America has been seen watching for decades, and MTG helped sell tickets to it. So, guys, let's break this down. Green is outraged about the regime change, foreign wars, and American tax dollars being funneled overseas while the Americans struggle with the housing, healthcare, inflation, and scams. And she is right as well. Americans are enraged. But here is the problem. She is acting like this came out of nowhere, like Trump personally betrayed some scared anti war promise written in the stone. And this is the same Trump who bombed Syria, escalated drone strikes, assassinated an Iranian general, tore up nuclear agreements, and openly bragged about taking the oil. So when Trump says the US will now run Venezuela until a peaceful transition and MTG suddenly clutches her pearls, the only honest reaction is, what did you think America first meant? Because it clearly didn't mean America stays home. And then comes the justification. Trump claims he authorized CIA operations and the capture of Nicolas Maduro because Venezuela emptied their prisons into the United States and flooded the country with the drugs. That line sounds tough, dramatic, and completely designed to for cable. But MTG, for all people, points out that something that demolishes the argument. 70% of US overdose deaths come from fentanyl entering through Mexico, not Venezuela. That's not a left wing talking point, that's a fact. So MTG asked the obvious question. If this was really about saving American lives from drugs, why hasn't Trump gone after Mexican cartels with the same military force? And suddenly the war on drugs explanation collapses like a cheap campaign slogan. But guys, here is the hypocrisy really shines. MTG criticizes regime change abroad, yet stays very quiet about Trump pardoning Juan Orlando Hernandez, the former Honduran president convicted of trafficking hundreds of tons of cocaine into the United States. So let me get this straight. Capturing Maduro is about justice and stopping drugs, but pardoning an actual convicted drug trafficker who helped flood the US with the cocaine is what? Mercy, strategy, America first. You can't claim moral outrage over narco terrorism with one hand while signing pardons for the narco politicians with the other. That's not principle, that a selective outrage. So what makes this even more absurd is that Green frames herself as the voice of betrayed MAGA voters saying, boy, were we wrong. But who exactly is we? Because MAGA didn't vote to dismantle the military industrial complex. MAGA didn't vote to end the CIA. MAGA didn't vote to shrink America's global footprint. MAGA voted for strength, dominance, and winning. And historically in Washington, that has always translated into bombs, sanctions, cops, and regime change, just with better branding. MTG isn't exposing a betrayal, she is exposing the lie she helped promote. And now, after years of Trump being one of loudest defenders, Green suddenly discovers that Washington runs on endless military aggression funded by taxpayers from both parties. She says Americans are disgusted because they are forced to pay for it. And again, she is not wrong, but she is late. The system didn't start yesterday. It didn't start with Venezuela. It didn't start with Trump. And MTG didn't just witness it, she participated. She voted for it, she defended it, she attacked anyone who cautioned it. So, what really makes this meltdown interesting is the timing. Green is already on her way out. She announced she is resigning from Congress and leaves her seat on 5th Jan. Suddenly she is brave, suddenly she is principled, and suddenly she is anti war and anti establishment. Funny how clarity shows up right when there are no more elections to win and no more leadership to please. When there is nothing left to lose, everyone becomes a truth teller. And let's not ignore the political theater here. MTG didn't just fall out with the Trump over Venezuela, she fell out over the Epstein files, power struggles, and internal chaos within the MAGA movement itself. So, this isn't just ideology, it's a breakup. This is what happens when the loyalty politics collapse. One minute you are the loudest cheerleader, the next minute you are writing long exposed warning the same leader you once treated like a messiah. Meanwhile, even Democrats like Chuck Schumer are watching Republicans squirm, saying many of them are trouble but only brave enough to complain in private. And that's the real takeaway. MTG isn't unique, she is just loud. Plenty of Republicans see the contradiction between America First slogans and running another country's oil fields. They just don't want to say it out loud because saying it means admitting that the whole promise was flawed from the start. So when MTG says this is what many in MAGA thought they would vote it to end, she is accidentally delivering the most honest indictment of modern American politics. Not of Trump alone, but of the illusion sold to voters that changing leaders would magically change the system. Now, Venezuela didn't expose a betrayal, it exposed a reality. And MTG didn't roast Trump nearly as hard as she roasted herself by proving that even the loudest insiders were either pretending not to know how this works or lying to their own base entire time. So, guys, what do you think on this MTG's comments? Let me know in the comments, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching and subscribe to our channel for such amazing daily breakdowns. Thank you.